said generously. And they also told me not to open my eyes. What's up guys? Welcome back. Today we are finally going to be testing out Hourglass's new setting spray. I lost this in my house. I received this sometime in late April, and I've been waiting for it to get super duper hot outside for me to test this because I want to do like a wedding face of makeup and test this to see like how much mileage we can get out of it in extreme Austin, Texas heat conditions. So I have been running around my house for like the last half an hour until I finally found it shoved into the drawer of my bedside table because Aries and horribly disorganized. I do things that I think make sense at the time. Absolutely not. So this is the Hourglass Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. And what I'm gonna do, big boy, it's $48. What I'm going to do is basically do a time lapse of putting on a full face of, you know, what I would consider to be like a full beat, you know, that you would want to get photographed in basically. And I'm not going to talk through it because we would be here all week, you guys. Like that is like an hour-and-a-half long video if I were to actually talk all the way through it. It would drive you guys crazy. So I will put the products that I'm using on the screen. I will also link them all down below, and I'll put some nice calming music over it, and you guys can watch me basically put on what I would consider to be like a full beat, very similar to what I wore to my wedding, without like false eyelashes and stuff, because that has nothing to do with like a setting spray wear test. And then we will kind of hop back on, talk about the product, talk about the pricing, the promises, all the claims, etc. And then we will hop into a day-long wear test, and I will give you guys my final thoughts at the end. And it's gonna be pretty binary, like, hey, does this really hold up? I'm probably going to like go on a pregnancy walk later on, or as my friend Clover and I call it, a fart walk. Yeah, there's very little that you can do exercise-wise as you kind of progress into your pregnancy, and like the fart walk it's pretty mandatory, but it's really hot outside, so that will sort of simulate me being outside, getting my photos taken and things like that, and just having to like, you know, blot perhaps and like touch up maybe. I'm not really sure. We'll kind of wing it, but I want to simulate like not the most ideal of conditions and see if a $48 freaking setting spray from Hourglass really blows my mind. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the time lapse. Okay, so we are almost done. I still have to do my mascara and my brow mousse, but before we do that, because we're going to spray something wet on my face, we're gonna go ahead and go in with today's guest of honor, the Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. Directions: shake well and hold 10 inches from face. Close eyes, firmly press pump to release generous mist over makeup. Allow formula to dry before opening eyes. Sounds dead serious. Ooh, it's a nice spray. Not really fragranced. Here goes nothing. I don't think I realized how dewy it was going to make my face. Let's hope that it dries down to soft focus, because that is shiny. They said spray generously, and honestly it doesn't feel like much is coming out when it happens, and so I tried to follow directions. It might have ended up a little Tin Man. In the meantime, I'm gonna put on my mascara and my brow mousse real quick. Finish this out. Interesting. Okay, so I feel confident saying that it is like dry now, but it looks really shiny. Completely not what I was expecting. I might have to powder on top of it. Like, that's what I have to do if I put on too much of the Onami. Gosh, that is really unexpected, isn't it? Like, look how shiny I am. I don't know what I was expecting, but I think I was expecting something that would like suck me dry a little bit, and this does the total opposite. Okay, so the ingredients: water, propanediol, glycerin. Glycerin's the third thing in there, so I'm feeling kind of stupid right now because I feel like maybe I put on a little bit too much. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of the Hourglass powder on a fluffy brush here and just tap the shiny spots. This is also high stakes because if it looks like this when you set it, it's gonna show every possible rift and flaw if I reach up and touch my face at any point during the day. Like, that kind of, sets the expectations high. God, I can hear it now. Comments being like, you put way too much on. They said generously. And they also told me not to open my eyes. They said don't open your eyes until it was dry. And so I was just trusting the process. Oh, it says firmly press, release generous mist over the makeup. Okay, they meant it release a generous mist, not apply generously, I guess. But it is what it is at this point, so we will see if that makes a difference. Let's take a look here. And this will also make a difference, I guess, whether I wear this on a regular basis, you know, if it's, you know, something that I feel like goes with my makeup look on any given day. And then also whether or not I feel like, you know, applying too much is just enough, maybe. I don't know about you guys, but when I get photographed, I want to be pretty matte. It's the whole reason that like YouTube makeup is the aesthetic that it is because it looks really good under flash and under different lighting. It's a lot more predictable to photograph than something that's reflecting light, so. I also want to look at the reviews on Sephora, see what other people are saying. Okay, what it is: an ultra-fine, water-resistant mist that hydrates and sets makeup for up to 24 hours for a visibly radiant, blurred finish. Visibly radiant. Okay, so maybe that's what the idea was. Ingredient callouts: free of sulfates, SLS, SLES, parabens, phthalates, mineral oil, contains less than 1% of synthetic fragrances. This product is also vegan, cruelty-free, and gluten-free. Spray anytime throughout the day to rehydrate the skin. So like, I don't know if it was like that, you know what I mean? They're kind of assuming that you're gonna re-up on this, so hopefully I didn't put on too much. That was about the amount, like not much comes out. It doesn't feel like much is coming out, and so when I was putting it on, I felt like, you know, it took about 20 sprays to get to like the 3 or 4 sprays that I would typically use in like the Onami, for example. And sometimes I do end up powdering the Onami after the fact too, just because I feel like once I've got enough of it on, like that I feel like it really, you know, doused my makeup, it's a little dewy, you know? Okay, that's why they say to close your eyes, because apparently it causes eye irritation. Also, it's all over my desk now. Ooh, she kind of greasy. And it is, yeah, $48 and you get 4.05 ounces. I like how lightweight this product is, and I feel like I have nothing on when I use it. I hate that it sprays so lightly. It feels like not getting any product on my face, even though I am. I wish it was a continuous spray. Disappointed. I'm trying so hard to like this. It just isn't happening. I have dry skin and the blur effect promise had me at hello. It seems to just completely ruin my makeup every time. I've tried many times with other setting sprays without different foundations, etc. I can't make it work for me. Bummed. Okay. I would love to know like how it's ruining your makeup. Sticky. My hand literally stuck to my face. The product never seems to dry. I tried it with 3 different foundations, no luck. Not sure how this product is getting such good reviews. Did make me look hydrated, but tacky. Like, that concerns me. That makes me think that like, no matter how little I put on, it would have been the case. I love Hourglass setting powder, so I was really excited to try the new setting spray. I find that the best way for me to use this product is to still use a little bit of setting powder and then use the spray to lock everything in. Well, yes. The powder helps minimize shine. Okay, yes. While the spray keeps everything in place all day. I also use it to refresh my face throughout the day. I would definitely recommend. I did get this product complimentary via Influencer. Got it. It does not freeze my makeup down the way that I would have expected it to. That is interesting, and I hear people screaming at me right now. You put on too much, you put on too much. It didn't feel like too much when I was putting it on. It is so, I'm telling you, it's so fine that it doesn't feel like anything when you're spraying it on your face. And so I was literally just doing what I would normally do with a setting spray and feeling like it needed to get the product damp that was already on my face in order for it to melt together. And that's what I would do with any setting spray. So I guess that like my first warning would be maybe you need less of this than you think, which is good because it's really expensive. Let's do a close in real quick so you guys can see. Without piling too much powder on my face, I was able to achieve what I would consider to be a satin skin finish. You know, with this much makeup on your face, you don't have that many options on finish. You know, it's either the dewiness that it left me with initially. Is there something in my nose or is it just white? I think it's just blindingly white. Or, you know, super, super dry down matte, which is not really my thing. Or something kind of in between like this where, you know, we got the pore blurring, but it's definitely satin because of all of the powder that I put on. And then, you know, I do feel like we still managed to maintain all of the pigmentation, I mean the intentional pigmentation, like blush and stuff like that, color on my face. And I do like, objectively, the finish of it, but I'm not sure that it is like a, what do they call it? Like 24-hour spray in that sense, you know, in the sense of like, this feels like it's really, really locked in. So we will see how long it lasts. I'm going to wear it for at least 8 hours. I'm going to take it out in the sunshine and things like that. We'll just see how it works, you know? I definitely feel a little bit mucky even now just because it's nasty outside already. But it's gonna get pretty hot today in Austin, so. Yeah, I'm liking how it looks. This is definitely something I would feel comfortable like being photographed in with this makeup look. I'm definitely not the best at like this full beat kind of thing, like wedding level makeup, but I think that it's going to tick me off a lot less because I have my hair pulled back and things like that, so it's going to be easier for me to tolerate all day. I think that we managed to make it work. I guess we will see, I will see you guys in at least 8 hours with my final thoughts at the end of my day. Okay, it's been about an hour, and I just want to say the shininess completely went away. What you're seeing there is just like the natural reflectiveness of the powder and the highlighter and things like that, but like that right there, that's my mirror of truth. She does not lie to my face. Also, I've given myself like, this is serious. I'm just not that practiced at this style of makeup, but it doesn't matter. What we're doing is testing the longevity here. But anyway, yeah, it's just told me that basically between the powder and whatever the effect of the actual finishing spray is, I just hadn't really given it enough time yet, and it dries a little more slowly than I expected. So yeah, it's crazy flawless, like crazy flawless. Because typically I would soak my face, honestly, in a finishing spray, especially like the Smashbox. Like that was what I used to use. That stuff's awesome. I may rebuy that. I think that they weren't cruelty-free, or they were on the fence cruelty-free, and now they are cruelty-free, and I used to be really wary of fragrances, and there's fragrance in it and stuff like that. I love that. Finishing spray is like one of my favorite ones ever. But I used to just douse my face in it because it would do this. It would soak the makeup, and then it would kind of set back down in a way that just like blew your mind. You know, it was just like a totally perfect flawless finish, and like that was what I was trying to achieve. I feel really stupid. I was watching the footage back and I was like, really, Khaki? It's like 15, 16 sprays, really? But like this feels locked in, so it may have worked in my favor. Okay, it's been about 3 hours and I am going to go for a walk. It is officially like 98 degrees outside right now, and I actually think that, I mean, it looks pretty amazing. And I've reached up a couple of times to like feel like I was blotting almost just because my face was itchy, and I would like touch my face with a tissue and no makeup transferred. And I was like, whoa. So I am going to take a long walk, listen to a podcast. I'm gonna see if I can get away with not wearing sunglasses, just with my hat and everything. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I did end up having to put on sunglasses, and I would say that that had a minimal but noticeable effect. I mean, it's pretty much what I would have expected, and I was full on sweating under them. So yeah, I would say that that's pretty good, all things considered. And I did just get back from walking for 30 minutes outside in like broad sunshine. I was definitely sweating. You can tell because like my face is a completely different color than my body right now. It's all about whether or not the waterproofness like makes it so that it either, I don't know, keeps the sweat in or lets you sweat through it without the actual makeup being affected. And I would say so far I'm pretty impressed, but we have hours to go yet. Okay, it has been 6 hours. We have 2 more hours left in, the wear test. I have just been hanging out. I am so still just like blown away, honestly, at just how flawless and consistent and blurred everything has stayed. Obviously, this is very harsh lighting, but even in my mirror of truth in there, like I'm getting real close. And all the places that it is wont to break up, granted, all I do is shove tissues up my nose all day, every day. I did that before I was pregnant, and you get really, really, really congested when you're pregnant, so it's just part of my existence right now. But the rest of it obviously is remaining pretty undisturbed. Also, even though it's definitely not still completely there, the Thrive lip liner and the Thrive lipstick, just sticking around, holding their own. All of the Thrive, almost all the Thrive makeup, it'll specify, I'm pretty sure, in the descriptions for all of them, but like most of it, she does use the word waterproof, you know, for like the eyeliners and the blushes and the eyeshadows and the brow liners and the mascara and stuff like that. It's great for this kind of thing, for like a wedding or a weird, you know what I mean? Anytime you're going to be sweating or anything like that. If you're sweating at your wedding, can't help myself. Anyway, yes, this will probably be the last check-in before the final check-in. Oh, well, hello. This is the second day in a row in real time that I'm doing a wear test and doing a check-in in the evening. This is starting to feel kind of like deja vu a little bit. Anyway, yeah, it is the evening. It is the end of my day, and it was gnarly hot outside today. You guys saw all the check-ins and everything. I'm looking a little worse for the wear. I said this in Monday's video, but like I get done at a certain point every day where I just can't be up and around and moving anymore. So I've been just in bed basically, like reading and like watching stuff and just hanging out. So let's find a mirror that actually is clean. Something new maybe? Yeah. Oh, the Michelle Phan ones open up all the way. Some of them only open to like here and you're like, no, that opens up all the way. How nice. Okay, so I can see really up close here. You guys saw I had to wear sunglasses, and I do wear glasses, like while I was walking and everything like that. And the smudging is about what you would expect. It's almost like it stuck on there and then like stamped the makeup back off. But if we're talking about your wedding day, I don't know your life, but I definitely didn't wear my glasses on my wedding day. I have to say, all things considered, the gradient, the lack of patchiness, the color saturation even on my eyeshadow and things like that, I am so pleasantly surprised because it was looking not that good in the beginning. I was like, oh no, I have completely screwed up this wear test. This is going to be a total flop and I'm going to have to do it all over again. And I will say, while I was about as careful as you would be if you were trying to make sure that your makeup didn't get messed up over the course of the day. I also exposed myself to a whole lot of heat and sweat and things like that throughout the day, just going about my business, walking around the neighborhood, getting the mail, stuff like that. And I am so pleasantly surprised. This is beautiful. If I looked like this at the end of the day on my wedding day, I would be very pleased. Let's move you guys in and you can take a good look with like low light at everything that's happening here. Making sure my microphone's on. Okay, wow. Look at that. Okay, so one thing that did happen and happened right away, I don't know if you can see this, but like the crease underneath my eyes is very, very exaggerated, and like obviously not when I'm looking right at you, but if I, for whatever reason, I don't know what facial expression I would need to make in order to show that, but like that crease is real. I don't even know how to like show it to you, but I could see it in the mirror earlier. And then when I was just like, what if I just took my finger and tried to blend it a little bit? Girl, that is not going anywhere. I will hand it to this stuff that once it's down and your face isn't like wet or sweaty or anything, there's just really no chance that it's going anywhere. Like it's really, really on there. So one thing that I want to show you that we're like is important really up close is, you know, I haven't had my Botox redone in for a really long time. I've been pregnant since January, so haven't been able to get my Botox done, and also, you know, we'd be socially distancing anyway, so I wouldn't go get that done anyway, but it's been a long time, and so I can scowl, you know? And previously, you guys would probably, if you've watched like old wear tests before I ever got Botox or anything, you would always see stuff gather right there. Always, you know, because it's like you're scowling and powder gathers, and that's just the nature of it. It is what it is, and that's what made me want to Botox my 11s, you know. It was just that I felt like it was just this spot that everything just kind of fell into all the time. I don't know what the combination of stuff in here is. You know, it freaked me out in the beginning. I was like, oh my gosh, this doesn't feel very set down, you know, it feels too flexible. I think that that's kind of the genius behind it, is that it makes everything stay really flexible. Like it's still frozen on there for sure. Like it's super blurred. Like that is the Hourglass aesthetic right there. But just the fact that no lines on my face started to even this like really, dastardly one on my chin. Powder just like always wants to gather in like the little crevices on my face and probably everyone's face. But I think that that's the advantage of this formula, is that it does make everything stay so flexible. And so because of that, it can be resilient to things like that would typically make my makeup gather. Okay, so final thoughts on a $48 soft focus setting spray from Hourglass. Yes, she's pricey, but you do get quite a bit. You also don't need to use as much as I used. I really believe you could have gotten away with a quarter of what I used and been fine. And then possibly reapplied to refresh your makeup over the day as needed. You didn't need to go ham sandwich like I did. So I think this would actually last you really well. I do think that the delivery system is actually totally lovely. The sprayer is really, really nice. And while I don't know how this would necessarily behave on a non-powdered or not like full beat situation, it sounds to me from the Sephora reviews that like that's a no-go, and that's always been a no-go for me too. I have never put a setting spray on top of a look that wasn't powdered, just because that's how I've always like processed setting spray as a concept in my brain, is that it's supposed to take a bunch of powders that you just put on in layers and dampen them so that when they dry back down, they're kind of all one in like a really nice even surface, I guess. And so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for that, but I wouldn't recommend any setting spray for that. And so it does have, you know, a place in my routine, but I don't think I'm gonna make it through it that quickly just because I don't wear that many powder looks that often. But for the purposes of this video, and whether or not this is like a special occasion, kick butt, really make your makeup last all day formula, I actually would say yes, because of exactly what we just said, the uniqueness of the flexibility of it. It is not going to freeze it down in a way that like the cover effects like the mattifying one is. That one's crazy. It feels like hairspray on your face. This isn't like that at all. And so I would definitely say like try a couple of spritzes at first, see what you end up with, because everybody's got different skin types and the amount of makeup you're wearing and stuff like that. but I definitely think that this holds up to its promises and that it's very different for a very good reason. And that is the reason right there. No scowl lines. So those are my thoughts on the Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray from Hourglass. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you guys think of the results, whether when you were watching me put it on, you were going, stop, 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 oh my gosh, khaki, stop. But yeah, guys, if you did find this valuable, do give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me today and for engaging with me on every platform lately. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.